Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Slam, slam, slam. Hey, 382, let's 50. Mike 51, Mike 51. 51's a Mike, boys, 51. Man, I got you.
Cousins on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Watch him 50. Watch Mike. Watch Mike.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Hey, Ken.
Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Hey, let's go. We want this. Mike 51.
On play action, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 44-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Check. 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 Hey, there you go, 48. Hey, Mike 51. Mike 51.
They go play action. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jared Davis. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Run! Right here, guys. Listen to me. 51.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Cousins now to throw on first down. That is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Dancing to his left. And this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Check 3. Check 3. 48. Mike 51. I got it. Hey, Mike.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Vikings 7, Lions 0. Dan Bailey sets the kickoff.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, D. 22. It's going to be a long day.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. 23 yards the pickup there.
It's a gain of 23 yards. That's good for the Lions. First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Jet, 280. Mike 54. 6-man.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check 50. Check 50. Undercrunch. 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 Kill, 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 kill. He's coming.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football, as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Hey, watch that. Chill right. 22. Look at him.
Now Stafford. Looking downfield for Joe. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Stafford. Setting up the screen for West. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Check, crunch, crunch, crunch. Check, 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 check. He's coming right. We got double up, double up.
Throwing is Stafford. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards the pickup there. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Hey, waiting. Mike's 5-4. Let's go, baby. They turn up. Let's get that ball.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And a good display of footwork will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Second and goal from inside the 5. This will be caught at about the 6. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Darius Slayton, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
All day, dog. Quaker Omaha. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Ship. Watch the ship. Two.
Play fake. Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Devon Kennard in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
You can't stop me.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Go. Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Right here.
3rd and long for Cousins. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Samson Abukum providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. Here's Matt Weil now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Agnew now to return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Here's Stafford. Throw left side complete. It's West. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Turn up. And middle. He's checking. Crash.
Hey, Delta.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Check back.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It's now 3rd down.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Wide, get wide. Check. Fresno. Hey, 22. Nobody hot.
From the 50, Stafford.
Here we go.
Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. This is taken at about the 14. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Setting up the screen for Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
You got it.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, here's Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.